Roger and James here from the DisKingdom Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Thor Ragnarok. Now, we're going to go full spoilerific. If you've not seen the movie, go see it, because it is fantastic. So that's the quick, easy review.
Agreed.
I've been waiting to do this episode for a while because I saw it, for some bizarre reason, England got it weeks before America, but for some reason, Coco, I'm going to have to wait till February, but who knows.
Well, you guys get the Marvel movies for some reason a week early, and then everything else is just like, you can wait.
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's called, we release it in New England, because they said I think it was for the half-term holiday to make more money. It's like, no, because you've got full faith in this movie being really good, and you want word of mouth from us constantly saying stuff on social, because I think it makes a big impact, because then by the time the Americans get it, all you've been hearing is how good it is, which makes word of mouth so much faster, because Justice League and other movies, they don't tell you anything to the last second because they're not sure of it. So I think there's a little bit of like, we gotta let it simmer on social media because we know it's good.
I appreciate your optimism that Americans pay attention at all to what you.
Well, I think this in general, just in terms of their social media feed.
I know, you can't avoid it. It pops up, and people are just going nuts about Thor Ragnarok. And as it turns out, at least in my opinion, they're correct. Yeah. It's a great movie.
I mean, I took my dad because my wife didn't want to go see, because I've seen enough of these movies. My dad literally turned around to me at the end and went, I didn't understand half the jokes. He said it was all above my head. He said everyone was laughing. I mean, every time I make him sit for the end of the credits, he always just rolls his eyes because he knows he just turned to me and goes, we sitting here? Yes. But yeah, there was a lot of jokes. It was a lot more. It felt a little bit funny because you say, my wife said, "What do you mean it's so funny? It's a Marvel movie." I said it was like a comedy. It was funnier than most comedies I watch nowadays.
It definitely had a lot of humor, and a lot of that humor came from the character Korg, who was voice acted by the director of the movie.
Yeah.
So Korg was definitely a surprise. He's such a minor character in the comics that he came out of left field, and that was great. Yeah. But it's not just him. There's that scene very early on where they've got the actors playing out the climactic scene of Dark World with Sam Neill and Matt Damon as Loki, which was great.
Those are going to be some great pointless answers in the future if you're ever playing that game. It was like, it's like, that's Matt Damon. It was just like, they just came out of nowhere. I love the fact of like how, like when Loki was playing Odin, and he's just, the way he was acting and that kind of thing of like, oh, no, Thor's here.
That reaction was great.
It just worked. And it did just, even, I think Chris Hemsworth, he really was able to kind of get he was having fun with the character. I mean, they've always been having a little bit, but there was a lot of humor in it, but it made sense. It felt like it just naturally just rode together.
There were parts that were a little bit less so. Like once Bruce Banner and Thor were talking, and they were kind of in hiding on the on the Grandmaster's world. I thought a lot of the humor there, where they're talking about Tony Stark and whatnot, and Thor just keeps going. The sun is going down soon. The code phrase from Avenger. I was just like, just stop. That one didn't connect with me at all. But there were a lot more hits than there were misses, and it was definitely just entertaining all the way through. But again, there were a couple of misses in there. Not just that, but also, as much as I loved seeing Doctor Strange in this, that entire sequence was just time filler. Nothing of consequence happened out of that except for discovering where Odin was, and they could have done that any way they wanted to. It was great to see him. And I love the interconnectivity, but it was like 15 minutes of movie that they did not need to have.
The one I still really struggle with Benedict Cumberbatch's American accent.
My God, yeah.
He started talking, and I have this instant thing. What?
You're Sherlock, dude.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, it does. It doesn't sound right, and I know he shouldn't, but it just feels odd. Unlike like Hugh Laurie, which it sounded perfectly normal, but compared to his normal voice, I'm still not quite jarring with it. But I thought it was the fact he was jumping around and Thor's reaction to it. I thought was quite funny. I definitely thought like Loki. he kind of was pretty much a hero nearly in this one.
I mean, as near to a hero as Loki's ever going to get. He's never truly a hero. He's always selfish, but he does have his heroic moments. And again, him getting into a pissing match with Doctor Strange was entertaining. So not taking that away from the movie, just plot-wise, story beat-wise, it didn't connect. But
when he was watching the match and Thor got whacked, and he jumped up and he's like, yes!
Yes! Oh, yeah, that was perfect. Hulk did the exact same, like, bam, 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 throw over, bam, and he was like, oh, yeah, that's got to be cathartic for Loki. Tom Hiddleston has been fantastic as Loki. Yeah. And not even just that, but the relationship between Thor and Loki has been a great arc through these 3 movies, plus very briefly in the first Avengers movie. Yeah. I love the fact that at this point, Thor is just like, stop throwing holograms at me, Loki. Yeah. And he sees immediately through Odin Loki. He's just like, he just looks at him. He's like, yeah, that's Loki right there. Even though I know Loki is dead, that's Loki. So there was a lot of character growth, and a lot of this was payoff from 3 different movies.
Definitely felt completely unique from the other ones. Dark World was that. It was just like, it was kind of that meh Marvel movie. It was always that one that was a little bit like, I think Thor Ragnarok, it's like they say, like they're saying about like making 4. And now it's like, no, actually, we just want to make Ragnarok 2. It's like, almost
totally done with that.
That, and I think they get. I love the fact that the actors and stuff. There was the woman that was the Grand Master's henchman, because I remember seeing her in this like New Zealand movie where she pretty much played the same kind of character, which I quite liked. But there was a few things from there that I wasn't so sure. I think was it Hela. Some of the effects of her fighting just looked really too generated. They definitely spent a lot of time building her up and showing how bad she was. But at the same time, that whole thing of really, Thor never really beat her. Thor couldn't beat her. And, is she gone? Probably not. But I did at least like the fact of when they brought, obviously that whole thing of, they did set it up right from the very beginning of, bringing in the big rock monster to call the big flame. Fire. I did at least like the fact that they went a different route with the boss battle of not having the same up, good beats bad at the end of it. They ended up going, basically, we're going to let the 2 bad guys completely destroy each other, and we run off. And it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, I thought they did that pretty well, and it kind of played well with the theme of, can you escape fate, or is Ragnarok an inevitability in Asgardian culture, etc. And they kind of like, actually it kind of is, but we're going to use it to our advantage, which of course is not even close to how Ragnarok is typically portrayed in Norse mythology, but that's okay. This is the Marvel version of Norse mythology, so things are different.
Yeah, I just remember the fact of when he was like hanging upside down, and he's like, well, hold on, I can't see you. And it was like that kind of thing of,
like, that was fun, yeah.
Simple things like that, which in some ways, because Thor's characters become so much more humorous, and he's just having fun with it. And there was that thing of, when like Stan Lee's about to cut his hair,
Oh yeah, that was good.
There were so many moments like this, which I just came out there, and it was like, that was a feel good movie. It was fresh, it was unique, it was that kind of. And I come out of it just so much more hyped, because it wasn't your traditional, and it wasn't like the thing is like Marvel was. Did they just kind of do like Deadpool? It's like, no, it was totally different comedy to Deadpool.
Yeah, no, this is a comedy that kids can enjoy, unlike say Deadpool, which has a lot of very mature, very adult humor.
Yeah, except if you watch it on a plane, which I did a couple of weeks ago.
I can't even imagine how they would cut it down.
It was missing.
It became a 20-minute movie.
Yeah, like, where'd that scene go? But yeah, Thor definitely for me was a fun superhero movie. Once again, proving why Marvel are at the top of their game, because they were allowing. Because I thought Spider-Man Homecoming was great. They are allowing the directors to make different movies and take them in different directions. Sometimes it works, sometimes things don't. But at the same time, they're willing to take it. They're not following that. The days of the origin story are gone. You know, we're way past that now. I mean, Black Panther might do that, but at the same time, that looks like it might be more of a spy movie. You know, we're seeing them try, and it just I mean, the soundtrack was great. I would have loved to say, you know, in some ways, it had a bit of a bigger arc and had a little bit more time, you know, do the whole Planet Hope thing and incorporate it all a little bit better. But generally, it was just like, Thor Ragnarok is fantastic.
It is. And it's, you know, a testament to how good the superhero movies have been this year. That this is, what, the 5th superhero movie this year? Logan, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, and we have one more to go. We've got Justice League, which would not be what I would have chose to end the year on. But it's a testament to how strong those other movies have been that, you know, by the time we get to Thor Ragnarok, we're not like, oh, just another superhero movie. No, it's like, this is a really, really good movie, and all of them are fairly distinct in why they're good movies.
Yeah,
so,
and I mean, some people say, like, Thor became a bit more Guardians of the Galaxy-ish. I mean, humor. And I'm like, I'm fine with this. Superheroes it doesn't all have to be dark, brooding Batman in a corner in the dark.
Yeah, Justice League. I mean, it's a little too late to make any changes, but Justice League, take note. This is a much better way of doing it.
I did watch Wonder Woman 2 days ago because I, for some reason, missed it at the cinema. We watched it the other day, and it did feel a little bit like Captain America, but with Wonder Woman. But that did work. That was quite, and there was a bit of humor. It worked a lot better. So now I'm a little bit more into Justice League because of Wonder Woman. But it definitely feels like, you know, they've gone past this thing of other, and I do feel like with Justice League, we've got the Justice League movie out in just 2 weeks, and there's hardly any buzz. This should be the biggest. This should be the biggest movie in comic book history, and we're all just, might be all right.
Couldn't we just consider Thor to be the end of the? I mean, Justice League could still surprise us. It could turn out to be like an amazing movie, but the previews are doing nothing for me in terms of like building any confidence. So we'll have to wait and see. And it's not even that it's like dark and brooding, because Logan proved you can do a dark, dystopian, brooding superhero movie and still have it be really good. But you know, we'll wait and see. This isn't about Justice League. It's obviously not a Disney property, so I don't know if we'll even do a video on it or not. But I'm hoping it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
How
good,
does Justice League compare to the Avengers? I can spin it.
All right, we might talk about it. We'll see how busy that week is. But
on that,
bottom line, Thor Ragnarok, go watch it. We haven't even really talked about the best character in it, which is Korg. I know we mentioned him, but Korg is fantastic, and you need to experience him.
Yeah, and I love the fact they didn't show him in trailers.
Yes.
They show too much. It's just like, I know people are trying to avoid Star Wars trailers, but try and hope. It's like, and especially with comedies, do not give all the punchlines out in the trailer, because sometimes you watch a movie and you get to the end of it and you go, all the funny bits were in the trailer. Thor at least managed to miss all that. But
I will make one comment on that. I wish that I had not known going into it that the Planet Hulk storyline, I know it was a major part of the advertising, and it was important that they include it because they need people to know that this is going to be a keynote for that movie. But it would have been so awesome to go into this movie and he's in the arena and he's like, who's going to come out? And it's Hulk. And you're like, oh my goodness, it's the freaking Hulk. That would have been an awesome scene, but I understand this is not like John Connor is the bad guy of Terminator Genesis kind of level spoiler. So
no, but we'd love to know what you guys thought of Thor Ragnarok. We'd love to know all your thoughts in the comments below. Get in touch with us on the different social medias, etc. You can also like, follow, and subscribe on whichever platform you are watching this on. And finally, you can go check James out at heroiclegacy.com. And on that, guys, thank you very much for watching and listening. We shall see you guys soon. Later.